11 March 2023 is a day that will forever be memorized in Malawi. On this day, Tropical Cyclone Freddy made landfall in the country, causing loss of lives and destruction of homes, livelihoods and infrastructure. The cyclone has had a devastating toll on people across 14 districts, nearly half the country, with Blantyre, Mulanje and Sanje districts being some of the worst hit areas. Public infrastructure such as schools, health facilities, and district and main roads have been affected in all the affected districts. Cyclone Freddy has been said to be a record-breaking cyclone in the southern hemisphere in its strength, length and resurgence, and has displaced over 1.5 million people in Malawi, Mozambique and Zimbabwe. Gertrude Kantemwe from Chiradzulu district is one of the victims of the cyclone. She recalls her experience when her son got injured due to the cyclone and is now seeking medical attention at Bedcure Hospital in Blantyre.
I
was in my house with my other child, while Adrian and his grandparents were in a different house. The water swept us and dumped us at one spot. At that time, Adriano was crying, telling me that his leg was broken, and when I went to him for help, he was injured in the head, heavily bleeding, and his scalp was worn out.
Cyclone Freddy came at an unexpected time, and it had a severe impact on people's health. Services were disrupted by damaged roads and bridges, and there was an acute shortage of staff as some health workers were also displaced and had lost property. Many local health centers lost some or all their supplies, leading to a critical shortage of supplies in these facilities. An interview done with the Malawi Minister of Health on the second day of the cyclone reflects the situation and how overwhelming it was to the health system of the country.
It is so bad. Many people they have been injured. As we're talking by lunch hour, we had about 60 dead. That was by lunch hour. But since I've been here, so many bodies have been coming. 32 of them are children who came in already dead because of several injuries which happened. So the situation is very, very critical. Unfortunately, the rain continues, which is even making life difficult for everybody else. Even the ones who have to rescue others, they can't do it properly because of the rains. The number of issues which we have talked about with the staff here, the first one was the issue of human resource because of the numbers, increased numbers of injured people coming in. Already we have shortage of staff without any crisis at all. And now with the influx of injured people, issue of human resource is a big one. So what we have done is we have sent an SOS to have more people come in. Fortunately, our partners are here assisting us. As we are talking, the doctors from Ministry of Health, then we have doctors from MSF, then we have also doctors from Welcome Trust. Liverpool Welcome Trust, all of them they are working together. But the other thing which we have also done is that we have recruited some of the retired nurses. Because some of them they are just retired because you have to retire, but they are still very, very capable of giving a service. Because the most important thing we want to make sure is that as we are managing the injured ones, we still have to continue with our normal services. We already had patients in our wards. We have pregnant women, we have children, we have cardiac patients. We still need to take care of them.
Over 500,000 people have been displaced by the storms, and the death toll has risen to over 500, while more than another 500 people have been reported missing. Charles Kalemba is the Commissioner of Disaster Management Affairs in Malawi. He gives a final assessment of the impact of Cyclone Freddy in Malawi.
In terms of displaced households, it's about 143,000. In terms of displaced population, it's about 6 660,000. Deaths, we are at about 676. Injuries, we are slightly above 2 million people. And in terms of missing persons, we have slightly also above 50, about 537.
The aftermath of the cyclone brought the declaration of a state of disaster by the Malawi government. Temporary settlement areas were set up by the Disaster Management Affairs, and the disaster declaration was a part of an appeal for national and international assistance for victims of the cyclone. So far, several organizations have started responding to the call. Neighboring Zimbabwe was one of the countries to come to Malawi's aid. Dr. Nancy Saungweme, Zimbabwe's ambassador to Malawi, speaks on this.
I always say, Malawi and Zimbabwe, we are one. We are one family. So we are neighbors. But if you are struck by a disaster, we should be there to respond immediately. Actually, we were supposed to be the first ones to come because the neighbors always look after each other. So Malawi and Zimbabwe, we are one. So that is the reason why we feel that that disaster, it was also like part of us being hurt. So that's the reason why we had to do it in our own way, slower way, but we did it. We've brought 300 metric tons of maize, but yes, there's more support going to come. As I've mentioned, the president is sat down and created this disaster human resource and also business people, so that they can contribute whatever. And they've pledged a lot of things for Malawi. And very soon, those things will be coming. I can't say what, but a lot. Even the infrastructure, which people have been crying for now, we are going to participate in that.
Stakeholders in Malawi have agreed that some of the effects of Cyclone Freddy were worsened due to human errors, such as settling in disaster-prone areas. The stakeholders agreed that lessons have been learned to avoid future effects. Senior Chief Captain of Blantyre, which is one of the worst affected areas, makes his remarks.
We need to know which is a zoned-off boundary beyond which nobody is supposed to build any structure. Let the authorities do that and then allow those who encroached come back down. Everybody needs to obey the same law or rule without exception. No sacred cows. When they say, don't do this, don't do it.
On his part, as a goodwill ambassador for Tropical Cyclone Freddy, former President of Malawi, Dr. Bakiri Muluzi, called for responsible enjoyment of human rights and appeal to service providers to avoid giving services to people who settle in disaster-prone areas to encourage them to leave such areas.
Because we're even saying those actually go and build in those areas, they should not be provided with services like water and electricity. Why should they be? They're encroaching. So our message is to say, please move away where you are to a safer place.
Tropical Cyclone Freddy affected productive, social and infrastructure sectors in Malawi. These include shelter, agriculture, food security, transport, education, health and watch sectors experiencing significant disruptions. To lessen these effects, Malawi government has released a 3-month response plan aimed at addressing the immediate survival needs while restoring basic socio-economic services and facilitating the affected people's transition to aid recovery.
This is a costed response plan in the short term for about 3 months. What will agriculture do? 3 months, what will the health sector do? 3 months, what will the road sector do? But I would say that what we have already kick-started is to open up areas that are still impassable. As you know, currently we are reaching out certain areas using helicopters. Now, when these helicopters are gone, we don't want to find ourselves in a situation back to non-accessibility. So we are deploying the Malawi Defense Force Engineering Battalion and also Tanzania People's Defense Force.
Tropical Cyclone Freddy influenced torrential rains over the southern part of Malawi from 11 through 15 March 2023, which led to multiple disasters. Districts experienced multiple mudslides and mass debris flows from mountains and hills, which swept away villages, causing damage to property, homes and crops, injuries and loss of lives to people and livestock. The severe floods that followed the torrential rains also displaced several people in 14 districts of Malawi. Cyclone Freddy has been said to be a record-breaking cyclone in the southern hemisphere in its strength, length and resurgence.